Hey, folks, welcome to the Smack Draw Podcast, your one-stop shop for all your, you know what it is now. You come here to get your recaps for all the wrestling stuff. And by wrestling, I mean WWE and AEW. We don't have enough time for everybody else just yet. As usual, I'm your host, Kyle. I'm joined today by Mr. Vince. What's going on, Vince?
Yo, what's up, man?
Hey, not much. It's an odd one, man. Not often we record on
Monday night.
Monday nights. Yeah, it's usually Tuesday morning after a cup of coffee.
Yeah, it's we're getting old, man. So like the early morning like recording sessions have become the norm. But I'm used to recording right after a wrestling show on Wednesday nights. Why not do it Monday? Change the pace up.
Change it up a little bit. Actually,
Yeah. Just like Raw, man, they changed up a little bit of some stuff, and overall, I thought the show was a pretty solid show. I give it a solid like A minus.
Jumping right into the rating. Okay.
Oh yeah, like I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do a Sebastian and rate this show from the get go. Give it a letter grade.
That way, if you just want to stick around for 2 minutes, bam, it's done. Raw was a B. Peace.
Like, what you guys thought? Okay, it was an A minus. Cool. There you go. Or follow us on Twitter, and you can get those quick reactions right away.
Oh yeah. If you want to, follow us. You can hit us up on Twitter. We'll switch up the plugs. Twitter, we are at SmackDrawPod, myself at The Kai Tai Show, and Mr. Vince here is at SES Vince. Make sure to hit us up on Twitter, man. We also have a Discord channel now. Hop on Discord, look for the Smack Raw Podcast. Building a community over there, man. A lot of fun guys in there. Sebastian and Colin always going back and forth with their fantasy booking and their hot takes. Yeah, man, it's always good. It's always good.
They're very active during pay-per-views or big shows. So, like, if you're ever like just at home and you want to start up a wrestling conversation in the middle of a pay-per-view, go ahead and hit the Discord. That's what it's all about. Like, I swear, I think for Worlds Collide, I wasn't even watching the entire show live. I was switching back and forth between that and the Lakers game, but I was still on the Discord chatting up with everyone. So go ahead, join us.
Discord. It's become one of my new favorite little passion projects there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Actually, like while we're sitting here, hey, go ahead and while we're sitting here, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get the link to Discord. Go ahead and let the people know where they can find us.
Sure. Well, I mean, we're a wrestling podcast. You can find us wherever you consume all your podcasts, whether that be in Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube as well. You know, this is going to go up on YouTube tomorrow morning, so make sure you hit a subscribe button, give it a like, and comment down below on all our YouTube videos. Help us get to 100 subscribers. We're creeping close to it. My fingers crossed that we finally get to 100 subscribers by WrestleMania time, or if not, right around it, or hopefully the day of. That's just the goal of ours. Help us reach that. And also, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure to go ahead and give it a 5-star rating and give it a review to help the algorithm. So people can find the show. It's not just like buried within like all the wrestling podcasts that there is out there. And give this episode a download wherever you're listening to it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Give it a download. My favorite thing is to look at where people are watching us from. And we found out the other day we're quite popular in Arkansas, of all places, actually.
I wasn't expecting that. I figured that maybe like Michigan or Illinois would be like the two big states, which they were. But Arkansas, man, shout out to all the people and the fans out there in Arkansas.
Yeah, dude, shout out to you guys. Hey, let us also know in the comment section, did you have a fun Super Bowl? I know, Vince, you don't watch football and everything.
I don't football, but the halftime show was perfect. I loved it.
A lot of vagina. There was a lot of vagina on that halftime show.
The right amount. I would say the right
amount.
The perfect amount.
Oh, shoot, man. Oh, Vince. How was your weekend, dude?
It was pretty good, man. Solid. I loved it. Very productive. We got to watch the Super Bowl. It was all right. It was cool. And we starting off the week right with the Monday Night Raw. I was very looking forward to this episode, especially after last week's closer, the cliffhanger. If you
with Randy Orton absolutely destroying Edge, and the betrayal we all saw coming, but it still hurt.
It really did. A lot of people were butthurt about it. A lot of people were really butthurt. I thought it was great. I enjoyed every second of it.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna get into the reasons why booking it made sense. It's like, dude, that's what you do. That's exactly what you do, man. A babyface returns. Look at everybody else that's had a dramatic return. Daniel Bryan, what was the first thing that happened? Gets laid out. You know what I mean? Like, it happens.
Not only that, but he came back and is working with someone that he trusts. Like I know a lot of people are saying, oh, why isn't he going into like a program with a younger guy, put over one of the younger talent? It's like, dude, he just came back from a serious neck injury. His first match is going to be with a guy that he trusts. He signed a 3-year contract. Relax. There'll be plenty of time for those Seth Rollins, Aleister Black matches. Just give it some time.
Yeah, if he stays healthy, I hope he stays healthy.
Fingers crossed.
You'd have to trust. You'd have to trust him and the doctors that they know that. Hey,
exactly.
man, yeah. So a little bit of narrative for tonight's episode of Raw. It almost didn't happen. Apparently, huge. It's taking place from Utah, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huge snowstorm going in Utah. They kept showing clips of just how disastrous the weather is out there.
That's bikini weather here in Chicago.
Yeah. A hell of a turnout though. Hell of a turnout. Yeah. Didn't look any different than any other episode of Raw I've seen. I know they can pipe in cheers and pipe in boos. I don't know if they could CGI a crowd. So right. I'd have to believe that crowd was actually there.
One thing to note is that Raw felt a little off. It kind of felt like a very high produced indie show,
like a high produced house show.
Yeah, not in a bad way. So I wasn't. This isn't in a bad way by any means, but I think it kind of helped because the Raw crowd felt very more engaged and active throughout the show, which is one thing that I was noting. It's like, man, they're really loud for the stuff they were supposed to be loud for. They were loud. Obviously, there were spots, where you just don't care about some certain segments, and you're not gonna.
Unfortunately, the Carrillo and Garza segment, the crowd was
no.
They were even then though. You heard a good chunk of them being very engaging. You had a C chant going in there.
I was talking about the Natty Asuka match. That's when they were at their most quiet during the match. Was during that match.
Yeah, I could see. That.
I mean, they were active during the entire Garza Umberto segment. Just even though they were out there whatting, and there was a yes chant that broke out at a certain point. I don't know. It wasn't as engaging, obviously, because these guys aren't that well known. But they got a better reaction than I thought they would.
Yeah. No, the crowd was awesome tonight. I'm not going to take nothing away from them. Hats off to you, Utah. You made the best of a bad situation. Because, I mean, how lame would it have been if you guys are going to show up in that terrible weather to just
sit on your
hands and, not participate. No, you got to take full advantage of the environment and everything. Yeah.
Just kudos to the fans for showing up. Just going and putting yourself through that for just some wrestling. And I think WWE delivered because they gave them a really, really good episode of Raw to look forward to. And you kind of look forward to that. That's very thankful on their part. If I was like the Utah crowd and I go to a boring episode of Raw, I'd be livid. I'd be mad that I went through all that trouble just to get a lame episode of Raw. But it was a good one. I really enjoyed the show.
It's how it felt. I went to the first reboot of Starrcade. And this was a house show. None of it was televised or put on the network or anything like that. But, it was a bummer how quiet the crowd was. Now, granted, this was during Jinder's, I believe this was during Jinder's, title reign.
I believe so.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly, the main event was Styles and Jinder Mahal in, I want to say, a cage match. And people were leaving during it, man. They didn't give two shits about that match.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'll tell you, but unlike that crowd, back to this crowd, they did give a shit about everything. And we'll start right off with Randy Orton coming out. We're gonna do it. We're gonna change it up this time. We're actually gonna go chronological order tonight, Vince. I know you're not a fan, but
no, that's okay. Yeah, that's fine.
We'll handle this in chronological order of the show. Randy Orton came out to give his explanation on what happened with the whole Edge, why he did what he did, his explanation, dude. I'm not much for when a heel needs to explain themselves, but I think this was done right. I think it was done. He really lingered on the crowd, so you could really get that crowd engaged right out the gate. They were booing him. I have to eat my words within weeks of saying Randy Orton can't get booed because he has this legacy pop about him. Yeah, right. I didn't anticipate a returning Edge though. All right. You can't.
So fill me in here. So unfortunately, I was a little behind on Raw. I was maybe I caught I jumped in like towards the end of him leaving. I didn't even catch any of the promo. So
Every time he
oh,
started to talk,
mhm,
he just stopped.
right.
He would go to pose on the he would go to do his Randy Orton pose, and then but he wouldn't actually commit to it. And he wasn't acting like arrogant like you would anticipate the
Right.
Orton heel. It was more he came out and actually had like a sense of remorse, but it was a whole failure to start. He just came
Right.
out. Anytime he would start to speak, people would boo him. They'd boo for a while. They were super loud. He'd start to speak again, get booed, and then eventually he just was like, I can't do this, and he just walks off. And we didn't, which is still better than trying to explain what you did. Like, I mean, really, is anything gonna make sense or get you any more angry about what happened? Probably not.
The way Sebastian kind of like read the situation was that he did it more to like it was more of a remorse. He didn't do it because he wanted to take out Edge. It was more to show Edge that it's dangerous for him to return, and it was a way to keep him
So,
away from.
jacked up logic. You might get hurt, so I'm gonna crush your head between these two steel
It's
chairs.
like it's dangerous. You shouldn't come back, and it was like from a weird like and it's good because it's a callback to like 2009 Randy Orton where he was out there just being a sadistic fuck basically,
Yeah,
and I love mental Randy Orton. I think that's the best Randy Orton, and I don't know, I loved it. I thought it was cool. Every great villain, I've said this before on other podcasts, every great villain has a motive where they think they're doing it for the right reasons. You look at like you go to like the freaking like Marvel Cinematic Universe where Thanos is the biggest villain in the entire universe, but in his mind he is doing what is right to save the world. And
right.
that's the best kind of villain. It's look at Seth Rollins right now. It's obviously one of the best heel works he's done recently, and he's not even like doing the standard, hey, screw you fans, it's because of you people that I turned. No, it's more like, you guys turned against me, but that's okay. I forgive you. I'm doing this for you guys. I'm being a martyr, and I like those kind of heels where it's very reminiscent of CM Punk when he was in the Straight Edge Society and he was this cult leader, and I loved it. I
Yeah.
love all this.
Now, one piece of knowledge that dropped was during this whole segment, the commentators aired that Edge just got out of the hospital, and we'll have an update on his medical situation as soon as next week. So they dropped the carrot for next week's Raw, get an update on
Yeah.
Edge. That's when they're probably going to go ahead and kick off this feud. Damn, man, I was really hoping to see Christian though. Like, I
Dude,
was.
you're not gonna get Christian, man. You're
I
not gonna
know,
get.
man. That's bullshit, man. I really want Christian. Want Christian more than I want Liv and Lana. But hey, now, hey, let's.
Hey, Lana, I can leave. Liv, give me more Liv. I love me some good Liv Morgan.
Yeah, that leads into the first match of the night. First match, Liv Morgan taking on Lana.
Pretty quick work.
Yeah, fairly quick match, just like last week. Starts off, Lana tries to fake a wrist injury, gets the jump on Liv Morgan while she's distracted. Match is over really in quick fashion. Liv Morgan picks up the victory again. Then, after the match, out comes the returning Ruby Riott. All right.
Yes.
And now Ruby Riott, we saw this ahead. Anybody who's been watching wrestling, you could read the body language. You've seen this a million times before. Ruby Riott comes out looking like she's going to embrace Liv Morgan, reunite the Riott Squad, ends up blasting her, beating her down. Lana picks up the pieces, hits the X Factor on Liv Morgan. So I don't know if the feud is still going to involve Lana anymore, or if that was just her, ending up on top, and now we're going to go forward with Liv and Ruby. One thing I did notice, you had all this time to prepare for Ruby Riott's return, and you couldn't come up with a personal Titantron. You still had to do the Riott Squad.
I think it was more of to like it. They were trying to feed more into the it's a Riot Squad reunion. I think that's what it was.
Because I don't put that much faith in WWE. I do not put that much faith in their production.
one thing I will say is that you're right. I don't know if this is just going to be transitioning to Ruby versus Liv, or if this is gonna somehow still involve Lana, where Lana is like recruiting people like, to take out Liv Morgan because obviously she can't do it.
Yeah.
If this is an extension of the Lana Liv storyline, I don't want it. If it's just Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, sure, let me see more of it. Liv Morgan obviously isn't the best in-ring technician, but she's doing the best she can with the material she's given, and Ruby Riott's a great wrestler, and this could be a fun feud. And as long as this ends the whole Lana, Rusev, Bobby Lashley stuff, which might be over. There was no Rusev tonight, so we'll see. We'll see what happens going forward.
Yeah, man, we'll check it out, dude. One thing you need to check out is that silent button on your phone.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought I hit it. I thought it was there. It's all right. It's a one-time thing.
You got a strong damn vibration in that damn thing for that to come through.
Well, it's legit like an inch or two. Not even an inch. It's like
it's because you got the snowball. The snowball's lower to the thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's the snowball, and it's like right next to my snowball.
Got you.
Yeah, that's what that is.
So after the whole Liv, Lana, Ruby Riott stuff, we get a Drew McIntyre promo. I'm digging face Drew. I'm really digging face Drew. He doesn't bother me, man. And I think people blow up. Like, you're always gonna have like a couple complainers. And then I think it gets blown up. They're like, oh, everybody's just being fickle. Like, no, man. There's like two people complaining, and you're putting them under a magnifying glass. I think most of us are on board with Drew. I would like to think so.
I saw a couple people tweeting and reacting saying that they find him boring, but they're happy and proud of him. So it comes from a place that, look, right now I might not be into your character, but I know the struggle you and the work you put into it, and I'm proud, and I'm looking forward to your moment. Because here's the thing. There's so much wrestling on WrestleMania. There's so many matches. There's so many title matches. Like, if you don't want to see Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre, you can get up and do something else and not watch the match. You can use that as your bathroom break. You can use that as your snack break. Do whatever you want during that match. But it's great that Drew's finally getting his moment.
If rumors are to be believed, it's going to main event, man.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the options in terms of main eventing, I don't think they have a big enough match for one of the women's titles to main event, unless they were to do like a 4-4.
Well, so if the dirt sheets are Vince McMahon and Paul Heyman are battling backstage because Vince wants Roman and The Fiend to headline, and Paul Heyman wants Drew and Lesnar to headline. Yeah. That would if Drew and Lesnar were to headline, that would lead you to believe that we're going to have Drew win. That would really lead to believe that. For Roman and The Fiend to headline, that would be a toss-up because you wouldn't take it out of the realm for Roman to win, but at the same time, they could be thinking of the fans again, let The Fiend win to shock everybody, and that would ultimately be a pretty crazy victory too. But then again, you have conflicting reports that Vince McMahon has been fully on board with Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman's the one who's making the choices in the Royal Rumble, the big adjustments and everything. So you never know. It's
a case of like he's earned Vince McMahon's trust, where it's like, look, Paul, you've been out here and you've hit a couple, two bases. You're out here, you're hitting a couple home run here and there. He's hitting base hits basically. So that's what Paul Heyman's been doing, base hits over there on Raw. And slowly but surely, he's earning the trust of Vince McMahon. It's like, okay, I trust you to hit a couple home runs out of the park here. And I think Drew McIntyre versus Brock Lesnar probably has the most heat behind it. And like you were saying, it's such a toss-up with Roman and Fiend that you don't know how that crowd's going to react. You have no idea how that crowd's going to react. It's WrestleMania crowd. You don't know. They might be into the idea of the Fiend retaining, or they might just shit on the Fiend and ruin the character going forward. You don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It depends, because for instance, they completely crapped on the entire Hell in a Cell match, but they were praising that strap match with Daniel Bryan. So it just kind of depends on how the storyline is going. And right now,
they shit on the Hell in a Cell match because they couldn't see anything.
Well, here's the thing: what if they bring back the red light and that's how you close off WrestleMania?
Hell no! They already know they ain't doing that red light ever again, man. That red light is done.
I don't know, man. We'll see what's up.
I hope it is.
in terms of who I'd want to see, my vote goes for Drew and
Yeah,
Brock. That's
same
where
here.
my vote. Yeah,
That's what I want, and that's what I also think is going to happen. I really do
probably.
believe it's going to be Drew and Brock closing the show. Um,
Hopefully, it
Mojo's
doesn't end as quick as his match with Mojo. Though.
yeah. So that's the thing is with this Drew promo, Mojo Rawley's already in the corner with his 24/7 championship draped over him. Remind me again who the muscle is with him. His
Riddick Moss,
Riddick
his
Moss is
offensive
his
lineman.
offensive lineman. Yeah.
Yes.
Drew starts out his promo is like when I drop this mic 3 seconds later I'm gonna kick your head off. He goes through his promo. I love that in his promo he jolts and you hear him like spit on the mic. Like, oh my god, I forgot you were there, man. You scared me. It was so good.
He's good, man. That's the character, like his like own personality is seeping through, and I love it.
Yeah, man. But so he delivers his promo. Of course, Mojo, you think you'd take the advice like, hey, look, this guy's going to come out the gate hot, but instead he's got his back turned to both the ref and Drew McIntyre, handing his belt off to Riddick, you said. And then, yeah, he gets kicked in the head like immediately after the bell rings. And the thing here is Drew, yeah, now you're 24/7 champ?
No,
They have
it
to
wasn't
announce it's a non-title match. Like they've
No.
had matches where the belt was not up for grabs, but they were only tag matches. We have not had a singles match involving the 24/7 champion that was a non-title. This would be a first.
True. It's a non-title 21st. Honestly, like the only reason they put on like after like this whole thing with Mojo, I'm convinced the only reason they put the title on him was because he was a former football player and the Super Bowl was coming up. Yeah, that's all. That's the only reason why.
God.
That's the only reason why, man. They're gonna get that title on R-Truth in like 2 weeks.
I really thought R-Truth was going to come out after that, John, but now they cut to like a backstage interview for the upcoming 3-on-3 elimination tag match between Kevin Owens and the Viking Raiders because Joe is out injured again, unfortunately, taking on the Monday Night Messiah's crew, AOP and Buddy Murphy. This match showed right away that we were in for a fun night. We were in for a fun night. Had hella good matches. Started off, there were no eliminations for a long time, and then they just popped up one after the other. First, Eric was eliminated after Seth gave him a stomp on the outside, and Murphy was able to pick up the pin, reminiscent sort of how they got their tag titles to begin with. And then as that was going on, Ivar went for a cross body to a prone, I want to say Akam, who was against the LED ring apron, missed and crashed into that thing hard. It looked painful. And so in the same breath that Eric was eliminated, Ivar was walked off injured, and now out of nowhere, Kevin Owens is left 1 against 3. And the look on his face was priceless. It's like, shit. But he's like, I can't back down. And then just as he enters the ring to take him on, they cut to commercial. And you miss all the initial action that happened.
The one thing that I liked about this, they kind of played up the story from last week, is that it's another situation where like Kevin Owens is in a handicap match because one of his partners injures himself through like a dive or some kind of.
I didn't even pick up on that.
Yeah, that's one thing that I noticed. I don't know if it was intentional or if I'm just like reading into stuff.
Yo, next week when he's in a tag team, he's gonna be addressing them backstage like no dives, like no high flying. No. You are a big man. Keep your feet on the ground. Just
stay in the goddamn ring.
Stay in your lane. All right. Power moves. Oh, shoot. Exactly. Shoulder blocks and power slams. That's it, man. Throw in a spine buster here and there. Kevin Owens, he did rally though. He got that awesome come from behind where he was just taking on Murphy and Razor and Akam left and right. You can't believe what you're seeing. He ends up pinning Murphy. I missed how he pinned Murphy. Was it via stunner?
I think it was stunner.
Yeah.
I think it was.
I know he pinned Akam off of a stunner shortly afterwards. and they dwindle it down to him and Razor. Ultimately, though, with Rollins providing the distraction, Kevin Owens eats a nasty lariat, followed up with 2 really big power slams. I was wondering if we were going to get to see a finishing move from Razor. Because you're like, oh, he's by himself. We're going to get to see what his thing is. And apparently, it's like a giant-ass spine buster, and he delivers 2 of them. It's kind of like it's almost like a pop-up spine buster, but he does it more from like a choke slam position. So instead of like a double leg up, it's like a single leg with a hand raised. And it looks brutal, man. It looks absolutely brutal. It's pretty
I'm
dope.
gonna have to take your word on it because I looked away when it was happening and I turned back around and he just pinned him. I'm like, what? The match is over?
Yeah,
like I completely missed it.
Yeah, it's a really powerful looking spine buster, is what it is. It doesn't. It looks nothing fancy, but yeah, he's a big dude and it looks painful as hell. And he did 2 of them. All right, so but that was good, man. That was good. Aleister Black shortly afterwards made good on his promise and went and picked a fight with Eric Young.
I never recognized him when he's clean cut Eric Young. No facial hair, no
non-sanity Eric Young. Yeah. And the beard is, I'm missing the beard, man.
He doesn't even have any hair on his head anymore. And what's funny is that he's still coming out with the Sanity theme song and he's still got like Sanity type gear on, but it's just like, dude, you're like completely like lacking hair. Like I can't tell that's you.
Yeah. Eric Young was quickly dispatched of, so it looks like we're gonna get I don't know, what do you think? A couple more squashes, like low card squash. Then he'll dispatch a couple mid cards, and then finally the challenger will be revealed. Do you think we're going to get an Aleister Black opponent? I mean, I don't know if I had to say it, but Aleister Black obviously just wasted Eric Young and then gave another promo that essentially he's locker room hunting is what's going on. But when do you think we're actually going to get his next legit
I don't know,
feud
man.
or opponent?
So I have no idea. I'm guessing that his first legit feud is gonna lead into WrestleMania season, so I think they're just gonna like wait until like the next Saudi Arabia show. Maybe that's where he has one match. You know, he has like that mid card match with somebody there, and that's what happens. But let me ask you this question. I know like we like go back and forth, like it's all in good fun between Ricochet, but what's going on with Aleister here? Like you're over here, you were saying like, oh, you know, Ricochet needs help on the mic. I feel like Aleister needs help in terms of his booking because I feel like we get to a good feud with him and then he drops back down to whatever he was doing previously, and it's like, what are we doing with this guy? This guy should be upper mid card to like title picture guy because he has the aura about him, and there's something about the guy. He has an appeal, but they just haven't found a feud with him other than the Buddy Murphy feud.
How dare you? How dare you compare Aleister Black
to Ricochet? And they won the classic last year together. So
oh my God, man. No, they're not in the same boat. Aleister Black, obviously.
Okay.
Obviously.
Let me throw this at you. How many WWE title shots?
I knew you were going to say that shit. I knew you were going to say
how
that.
Many titles has he won? Ricochet has had more success. Technically, if you think about it, Ricochet has had more success.
Only one of them is a former NXT champion.
He's a North American champion.
I said NXT champ.
NXT title champion. He has one of the
NXT
titles.
He wasn't the NXT champion though. Man, I'm sorry. No.
I get it. Look. I'm just saying. I feel like Aleister is a little directionless right now.
Yeah, they're buying their time. They only have. I hate to. It sounds so terrible to say it because I could easily be proven wrong. I'm about to say they've only got 3 hours to fill. But man, it's who would you feud him with? Buddy Murphy was like the perfect one. It'd be.
Do you think maybe you go into a situation? I saw a lot of people saying like, what if you like use that Buddy Murphy history and have Seth Rollins versus Buddy Murphy? But I feel like Seth Rollins is still.
You mean Seth Rollins versus Aleister Black?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yes. Okay.
Aleister versus Seth Rollins. I think would be an interesting matchup that
I don't know, man. I want Aleister away from the Buddy or a buddy bubble. Essentially, let's call it that
But
way.
and that's where the issue lies is that Raw, I feel like, is so stacked, but I feel like everybody's already wrapped up in something. You have Joe and Kevin Owens wrapped up in something, and you have like AJ Styles. Like, unless maybe you do AJ Styles,
AJ,
Aleister Black, because
AJ,
AJ needs a title.
yeah,
AJ needs a Mania match, and AJ is all about putting over some of the younger guys. And Aleister Black versus AJ Styles is a matchup
yeah.
that
No,
we
that's
haven't seen.
that's the matchup right there. I bet their styles would mesh well too.
And
Yeah.
here's the thing: you could use a situation similar to, like, I don't know if you were watching back then, but when CM Punk was facing off against Randy Orton when he was the leader of the Nexus,
Hmm.
Randy Orton was going one by one every week, like eliminating members of the Nexus until the week of WrestleMania. Nobody was at with CM Punk, so it ended up being a one-on-one match. So you could do a situation where Aleister Black goes locker room hunting and takes out the OC, and it's just AJ Styles and Aleister Black at Mania.
I can just picture Aleister Black just like backstage, just bullying, just bullying like Luke Harper, or not Luke Harper, excuse me, Luke
Luke
Gallows.
Gallows.
Yeah, just,
Actually, you know what I picture? I picture them walking into their locker room, and then the lights are off, and then you just see Aleister Black sitting with like a bunch of candles surrounding him. That's what I picture. I picture the OC like, what is this guy? That's how you set up that feud. You have him just camp out in the OC's locker room when they just
it
comes
would
back,
make
and
the
that's how you
OC too likable though, because those guys don't take them. I mean, granted, their characters have been taking themselves seriously, but it's hard knowing how funny those guys really are.
Come on.
They're
Come
such
on.
goofballs.
They were out here dressed up as doctors talking about testicleitis or
I
whatever it
know.
was when they took out Big E's testicles.
I know, no, I know, but I'm saying lately their booking is they've actually been like serious about themselves, but they're so hard to take serious because you know how funny and how good like
They got taken out in like less in a quick short form match against Drew McIntyre last week. I don't take him seriously whatsoever.
yeah.
Maybe put him back in Bullet Club in New Japan. I'll probably take him seriously,
Just-
but in WWE they're not. I'm sorry.
No,
They're just,
no. I meant lately their kayfabe characters have been taking
No. I
themselves
get it.
seriously.
No.
Okay.
I know where you were going. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I can't take you seriously, even if you take yourself seriously, because
Yeah.
you're out here getting just destroyed by Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre in a 2-on-1. Oh, those poor guys. Those poor guys. Well, you know what? No, they're not. They're not poor. That's for sure, man. Their families are taken care of. They're all about. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They don't. They probably don't care, man.
Yeah.
They got it going. Oh damn! I just got on you about your damn phone. My
Get
damn
it
ring
together,
is still
sir.
on too.
Get your stuff together.
I thought I silenced my stuff, man. My bad.
Hey man, it happens, man. Just don't give me shit about it next time.
I will double check my phone next time I hear yours vibrate.
There you go. Actually, I do that sometimes. I hear your stuff going off. I'm like, oh wait, hold up, let me check my
Yeah.
stuff. So what's next, man? What's next? Let's move on.
So yeah. We got shoot, Aleister Black, picking the fight. Oh, we got an announcement. Goldberg's returning on SmackDown to deliver Who's Next. Oh my!
Thumbs up or thumbs down?
Oh man, you know it's a Saudi show. It's a thumbs up until he says at Super Showdown, and I'm like, no.
It's definitely a super showdown.
It's gonna be Roman. It's gonna be Roman Reigns. Oh, it's gonna be Roman. I mean, I look at the positive. Let's look at the positives here. Oh God.
Okay, for one, are you gonna watch? Are you gonna watch at all?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I always watch. I'm not gonna. It's not gonna go up on the show or nothing, and we're not big enough to do any type of charity stream, unfortunately. But yeah, I always end up throwing these on in the background. I do end up watching them. I hate to admit it. You know what I'll do? I'll do to do my part, my due diligence is I'll pirate it. I won't actually stream it off the network, so they won't get the numbers from me.
There you go.
Yeah. I'll go ahead. I'll steal it. Even though I'm paying for the network, I'll steal it so they don't count my view.
There you go. That's smart. That's how you do it. That's how you stick it to them.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
shoot.
so overall, I mean, it's probably gonna be Roman.
Yeah, it's gonna be Roman. It'd be hilarious if it was Dolph.
How funny would be? What if it was Matt Riddle and Matt Riddle was over? I'd love that. I'd love that payoff.
Shit, man, that would be so good.
But
That
then
would be
again-
so good. You know what?
then
You know
again,
what?
I
They
don't
wouldn't
see
do
it
it though.
happening.
You know they wouldn't do it. They would
Yeah, I know.
definitely job out Riddle to Goldberg. Oh, they would
Oh, they
job
def-
him so fast. He would lose quicker than how long he spent in the Royal Rumble. Like he gets speared and jackhammered and just gone.
I'm still not.
The
I'm still not.
broserweights are ruined. Riddle gets freaking. Oh yeah, that's what you get for calling out main roster talent. Oh god.
At this point, I'm kind of convinced that NXT has its own its own universe. It exists outside the main WWE canon.
They're bleeding together.
Yeah,
they are bleeding together, man. In fact, actually, the next segment just proved that.
Hey, nice segue.
Yes. Carrillo's out in the ring. Of course, this is coming off the last week's where he hammerlock DDT'd Andrade in a fit of revenge and also saving Rey Mysterio to take Andrade out, kayfabe-wise taking him out via injury, when we all know it's because he was partying a little too hard with Ric Flair and failed a wellness test.
Maybe it was because of the hammerlock DDT that he had to party so hard to forget about his pain. You never know. Humberto might have done this to Andrade.
It was. Oh god, where would it have been? Would it have been pre-Royal Rumble? I wonder. I wish I knew when he got tested, but it was.
I heard he got tested after the Raw after the Rumble. So it was that same Raw. I heard it was that same Raw.
It would have had to have. They would have had to have tested him before Raw shot that night, because that was the Raw. The last week's Raw was the Raw after Rumble. Mm-hmm. So he would have had to have been tested like that morning, failed it, and then book on the fly. Okay, you're out. Which I guess if you go by what's going on, that kind of makes sense.
But I love this on the fly booking because it's bringing the best wrestler in all of wrestling onto Monday Night Raw. That's it. Raw. That's it. Raw made it. Raw made it. So, like you were saying, Humberto comes out. He's gonna have his match. And before you know it, you hear Angel Garza's music hit. Followed by Selena Vega. It looks like she has enlisted a brand new member. She has a brand new client, and it is his Humberto's cousin, the greatest wrestler in all of wrestling, better than Kenny Omega, better than Chris Jericho. It is Angel Garza, with all pans included. He came out and just shined through, charmed the entire crowd and my Twitter timeline. Everybody was going crazy for that man on my timeline.
Yo, hey. So explain to me this though. It's not the least bit weird that all the Latino wrestlers kind of just circle each other. Like all the programs involving Latino wrestlers are with other Latinos. Is that not weird at all?
So I saw some people saying Vince McMahon out here booking Latinos against each other instead of having them thrive together. But here's the thing, part of me, I'm sorry, Humberto versus Angel Garza, they're cousins, there's history there. I want to see that match. Rey Mysterio versus Angel Garza, or Andrade versus Rey Mysterio. I love a lot of these Latinos wrestling together because they go ahead and have great chemistry and they have great matches. And at the end of the day, that's all I want in my wrestling, some great matches and some more Angel Garza sprinkled in.
Sorry, if I look like I'm distracted, I'm trying to actually share our stream.
No, it's fine. It's fine, man. It's all good.
Okay, so did you pick up any of the Spanish? Can you translate a little bit for me? Maybe something that was said. Can you give me something?
Dude, I just saw Angel Garza on my screen. And Cloud9, man. I just went on Cloud9. I was not. But essentially, it was what commentary was trying to allude to, was saying oh, you're surprised that I brought in your cousin. Humberto was very upset. You really had to involve family into this. What, my cousin of all people. And that's basically what it was. It was him just upset with Selena that she's upset that Humberto went ahead and did what he did to Andrade, that she had to try to get back at him by involving his cousin, who not too many people knew they were cousins apparently. But yeah, there's some history there.
Yeah, I mean, I only knew because of you. If it wasn't for you, I would have found out tonight. But yeah, so what looked like we were leading to a Carrillo and Garza match ended up Garza, while Carrillo was distracted by Zelina Vega, because Carrillo was going off. I don't know what he was saying, but he was going off on Zelina until she slapped him. And then Garza jumps him. They set up to do the hammerlock DDT spot on the concrete to Carrillo, and Ray comes out to pay back the save. Which these two guys, they're just constantly saving each other. Man, they just need to go out to the ring together. They need to be like, hey, look, at some point, someone's going to try to injure us. let's just go out there together. Just save the trouble. But
Right.
Ray ends up having, big shocker, an awesome match with Garza. I missed the spot, man. I missed the pant removal spot. What happened with the pants removal? I missed it.
So, I mean, essentially, it wasn't the smoothest. I chalked that up to like main roster jitters. Like, I'm pretty sure the guy, like, he's been with the company for like a little under a year, if not a little over it, and you wouldn't imagine him being on Monday Night Raw so quickly. So he did the whole wait, stop, shake my hand, the whole cockiness thing that he does. Ray was gonna go for it, but he's had way too many battles with Eddie Guerrero to know that you don't trust the man.
Yeah.
So he didn't do that. So he goes and hits him in the gut, does the pant rip off and tosses it at him. It got stuck towards the bottom. It wasn't the cleanest pant rip off, but apparently Twitter loved it and so did the crowd because a lot of the ladies just went crazy for it.
Oh,
It's like it was a great thing you got your wife out of there when you went to SmackDown that one time. It was a great thing if you got her out of there, man. She would have started watching wrestling. She would have started joining my NXT recap and started like losing there for Angel Garza, man. We would have had a brand new dynamic duo over here on NXT, man. You and your wife. Like me and your wife over here just talking Angel Garza, man. That's what it all would have been.
You have mentioned my wife entirely too many times.
Hey man, hey, that's what happens, man. That's what happens. He has that Rick Rude quality about him, man. I mean, a lot of main roster people are gonna hate him just because he's a good looking guy, and a lot of the girls are just gonna go crazy for him.
No, I like his charisma. He instantly outshined Carrillo, but not that I think Carrillo's a dud. I think Carrillo just needs time to season. I'm rooting for Carrillo, man. I'm rooting for this kid to just become a huge star. Like I said from the first time I saw him almost a year ago, he looks like $1 million. Like he's got the look down, man. Once he finds his voice, once he finds where he's comfortable in his promos and he can get that little bit of personality, make himself stand out. The kid has all the potential in the world, man, because he's smooth as hell in the ring. But yeah, honestly, I think I missed. Yeah, I missed who. No. There was no winner because Garza ended up DDTing Rey Mysterio on the concrete for the disqualification.
Yeah. Which for me, I thought that was a little off. I've never seen that being a DQ. Because, like, as far as I'm concerned, unless you actually physically grab a weapon and hit your opponent, It's not a DQ. I mean, I've seen people get tossed into the steel steps, and that's not a DQ. I've seen in NXT and Raw and SmackDown pay-per-views, they expose the padding, they get hit there, and it's still technically good. If you call back to, like, the Nexus versus Team WWE and SummerSlam, that was a spot that happened, and it wasn't a DQ. So it's just a little inconsistency. I thought it was weird, but
it's WWE, man. It's WWE.
Exactly. It's WWE. But I got what they were getting. They were trying to do. They were trying to like not have Garza lose, but also not have Ray take the loss either way. Trying to make both guys look strong, and they kind of worked it. It's nice. It adds heat to it. Some people were saying that it was just a rinse and repeat of the Andrade race that they were doing, but it's still good. I still like it. Man, dude, I just have nothing bad to say about this. Angel Garza was on Monday Night Raw. What else can I say? My wishes have been like fulfilled. Like everything I wanted out of wrestling has been fulfilled. I could die tomorrow, and wrestling has made it. In my eyes, wrestling has peaked.
Well, someone else's wish that they're trying to get fulfilled is Rhea Ripley, because she came out to confront Charlotte, who was out in the ring teasing who she's going to choose for her Royal Rumble Championship match at WrestleMania. This was cool seeing the dynamic. Why do they double up on the eye makeup for like strong females on Raw for some reason? Like they go nuts with that eye makeup on Raw sometimes. Like they happened to Ronda Rousey, happened to Becky Lynch. At some point, if you are a strong, empowered female on Raw, they're going to cake you in some crazy eye makeup. And I hope I'm not speaking out of turn here. It just threw me off for a moment. It just threw me off.
I mean, it did look a little different. I mean, I didn't personally notice it, but I was watching with my sister. She's like, oh, hey, it's Rhea. I'm not feeling her eye, like her makeup or whatever. Like, I don't know the exact term, eyeliner, like.
Oh, hell if I know.
Yeah,
eye makeup is about as technical as it gets on my end.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
she noticed it. She said she wasn't a fan of it herself. So that's
Yeah. It doesn't ever
that's
stick. They do it like once or twice with you, and then they'll move on, and you get a more comfortable look. But they like to do that.
well, I mean, she never does it on NXT. I feel like it's just a main roster thing. I think it's just a
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw thing.
They're like, you about
And
to make your main roster debut. We gotta make you like stand out. You gotta look,
make it look more like a badass.
yeah, badass. Like, what's the term when it's like like above everybody? We gotta just like you gotta look like you're above the rest. I can't really think of the
A higher
terminology.
tier.
Yeah,
Just a
yeah,
tier.
yeah,
You're a tier above the
yeah,
rest.
man.
But I was shortly after that when they came back for commercial. Like Charlotte didn't give no answer. Obviously,
No,
she
she was
left.
she was off put by the eye makeup, so she just left. She gave her a woo, and then she left, man.
But
She did.
apparently, she's gonna regather herself and get her composure back and gonna answer Rhea Ripley on NXT, which is a nice way to get views for NXT. You know,
Hell
that's what they're
yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They are. They're gonna use Charlotte to spearhead NXT for a minute. We ended up getting what you alluded to as the snore fest of the evening. Although it wasn't too bad. I don't have as much hate on Natalia as a lot of other people do. I see.
No, I don't hate Natalia. I'm gonna put it this way: I love Natalia. I think she's a great wrestler. I love the work she's put into it. She's struggled through, man. She's struggled through some past gimmicks, and now she's out there. She's gotten title reigns, and I respect her. I love her, but I don't care any feud she's into, man. Like if she
No, you're right. She instantly does drag down the feuds.
And here's the thing: half of her feuds, if not all of them, start off with the same narrative. You used to be
Be my
my
friend.
friend. You betrayed me, and that's how they get into things.
I personally am looking. I know I will be extremely emotionally invested as long as WWE put the give the feud respect and time. But once Natalia goes on her like retirement feud, when she just has that opponent she can't overcome and her career's on the line, and we know that the curtain's being called, that's when I'm going to be emotionally invested in her because you have all that respect for her. And say what you like, granted, I understand if you say you're not going to miss her when she's gone, but you're going to have a lot
No,
of
I'm
respect
gonna
for
miss
her.
her. I'm gonna miss
Yeah.
her. I'm just saying, like, it's just one of those things where it's like, I feel like she might be best suited right now to be in a tag team. I feel like that's where you could use her. I feel like she could thrive in a tag team. You pair her up maybe with like a Beth Phoenix, or you find someone that she has chemistry
God,
with.
I wish Beth Phoenix could come back for like a good run. I
Or if not
really
her,
do,
like if not
man.
her, why not pair her up with like a Dana Brooke or a Carmella? Someone who she has like just establish a friendship, establish a relationship between the two wrestlers on camera, and you go from there and you make her into a tag team. Look at her dad. Her dad was a great tag team wrestler,
Yeah.
and her husband Tyson Kidd was a great tag team wrestler.
Hell yeah,
I
he was.
feel I feel like that's where you could probably use Natalia the best, especially considering right now that the women's tag division is very lackluster. They need more people, and I wouldn't be surprised if at WrestleMania they have like a triple threat or a fatal four-way women's tag team title match where Natalia finds a partner and she faces off against Kabuki Warriors, Alexa Bliss, and Nikki Cross, and some other fourth team. But she needs that, either that or be in a stable or in a faction. I feel like that's where you could best use Natalia right now because that's a singles act. I don't think she's gonna cut it for me.
Yeah, I hear you, man. But I mean, as long as she,
But the match was great.
yeah, I mean, the match was good. Due to a distraction from Kyrie Sane, Natalia got tapped out. I know some people are going to complain that Kyrie Sane shouldn't have had to have been involved. Asuka should have been able to beat her clean. Because they're on
They're
different.
heels.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
heels.
They're heels.
It's
Man.
not about they need the distraction.
No,
It's
it's just
about
what-
they choose to want to do
Yeah,
that.
man. Come on now. It's simple. Simple logic here, folks.
Yeah, exactly. Come on.
Yeah, Asuka goes on a rant though, calls out Becky Lynch. Becky comes out looking like she's fresh out the Breakfast Club. Those sunglasses. Those sunglasses were fierce.
Deal with it.
Yo,
Just deal with
I want those
the boss
sunglasses
class.
yesterday, man.
Yeah, man.
I am
Yeah,
not
definitely.
gonna lie. That was definitely our thumbnail, by the way. That's you guys will see it if you haven't already. If you're watching this on YouTube, you already saw it, man. I want those sunglasses. And King needs to fuck off, by the way.
Dude.
What did King say? Her future's so bright she has to wear her sunglasses at night. Fuck off, King. Like seriously, man. Like god damn
Dude,
it.
like he called Angel Garcia at one point, and I'm over here like, what the fuck is wrong with you,
Oh
dude?
man.
And at one point during the Kevin Owens
Oh,
tag,
he's so
like six-man tag
stupid.
match,
Oh
he he
god.
he said something about like, you know what they say about stupidity, like if you keep doing it and expecting the same result, or like expecting a different result, and then Tom Phillips like, do you mean insanity? The definite like he got the entire quote wrong.
I
He
know,
confused
man.
the insanity with stupidity, which is what he is, man. I'm sorry. Like,
It's so true, man.
dude, but
God.
he makes Byron Saxton sound like Bruce Buffer or sound like prime Jim Ross.
Yes. Yeah,
Jeez.
Byron. I will take Byron Saxton over King. That says a lot, man. That says a lot if I'll take Byron Saxton
I
before
will
King.
take JR right now as
As
opposed to
is.
King,
I
man.
think anybody would
JR
take JR, man.
confused out of touch Jim Ross over an AEW. I'd rather
At
take
least he's
that.
charming. You know, at least he's charming with getting stuff wrong. The King is just like, God makes you want to throw your shit out the TV. I'm telling you. Or throw your TV out the window, excuse me. Just had a
I
JR
say
moment there.
I say let's bring back Booker T. Have him
Oh,
on the
fuck
commentary.
yes. You kidding me, dude? My wife, the biggest pop of Royal Rumble was my wife seeing that Booker T was on commentary. Like when, yeah, like that
That's
got the
cool.
biggest pop out of my wife was just Booker T was on commentary, man. I fucking love Booker T, man. But yeah, Becky comes out. She says she accepts the match. I assume this is not going to be the WrestleMania match. This will either be at Super Showdown or this will be.
No,
Actually,
they confirmed it for next week.
oh, it's just going to be next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be next week. So they
Okay.
confirmed when they came back from commercial. They confirmed it was next
Shoot,
week.
I missed it. Okay, okay.
No, it's all good. That's why we're both here. You know, we
Hey, there
met
we go.
whatever we fill in the gaps.
Yeah. That led us to the main event of the night. We had a triple threat match. Seth Rollins taking on not Kevin Owens, excuse me. Ricochet taking on Bobby Lashley. The winner gets a title shot against Brock Lesnar 3 weeks from Thursday at the Super Showdown. Feel bad for the people in Australia. That was supposed to be their pay per view, and it just got freaking yanked out from them. Now it's a
One
Saudi
thing I
show.
want to say, does it feel like okay? At this point I've accepted that the Saudi shows are gonna happen, but does it feel like sometimes like these Saudi shows are interrupting with the main WWE storyline?
That's exactly what they do. That's
'Cause,
exactly
like,
they have to create some quick stories but they're all throwaway. But it doesn't matter if you're in a feud, your feud will get put on hold. You know, I mean, if you're surging, shit just gets put on hold to
apparently
create
this
throwaway
wasn't
angles.
this wasn't even supposed to happen around this time. It was supposed to be after WrestleMania, like they normally have these shows. And they decided, no, we wanted a show in February. Let's make it happen.
Yeah,
And they're over here scrambling to find
that means you can. That means you're gonna have Royal Rumble in January, Super Showdown in February. Yeah,
Elimination Chamber in March.
and then WrestleMania in April. You're gonna have two. You're gonna stick two pay-per-views in between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, which is
Yeah.
it fucks up long-term booking, man. That
It
means
really
that
does.
means a lot of your WrestleMania feuds are literally just gonna be like 2 or 3 week feuds. There's gonna be a good chunk of them because feuds are gonna play out all the way to Elimination Chamber, and outside of the Royal Rumble matches, the winner matches setting up. So it looks like Charlotte and Rhea, and Drew and Brock Lesnar.
So
I bet you I wouldn't be surprised if the majority of the WrestleMania matches are built literally on just like 3 weeks of feud.
no, I'm sure they'll be booked right around like the 2 or 3 week mark. I saw a lot of people complaining like, "Oh, what's the point of making this match? You know, like we know that, like, what's the point of Drew winning the Rumble and then you get this match?" I'm like, dude, Drew has a title match regardless of who's the champion going into it. Like even though you don't believe Brock's going to lose the title before WrestleMania, it doesn't change the storyline.
Oh, he ain't. He ain't. After seeing the winner, boy, that match is gonna be over quicker than the Kofi match.
I don't know. He'll get.
It
some
won't
shit
be.
in.
It won't be. But
He'll get
be.
some shit. It's
It
gonna
should
be. It's gonna be more lines of the Finn Balor match.
If he puts up more of a fight than Kofi did, that's a slap in the face to fucking Kofi.
Dude, Kofi just ran into an F5 and closed off the show. Come on, they're not gonna do that. Like, unfortunately, they're gonna. it's a slap in the face to Kofi. Like, and that's something I've been saying is that they did that man bogus. They should have let him wrestle at least 5 minutes and then lose his goddamn title. But Ricochet is probably gonna last in there for 5 minutes at least. He's gonna get thrown around by Brock Lesnar and gonna get an F5, and that's
well, no. At some point he'll kick Brock in the dick. He'll kick that. That'll be his like one chance of like maybe, but.
I want him to bounce off Brock Lesnar like he does. Does that like that little like wall run off of Brock Lesnar's chest. I want him to at least do that, and I'll be happy. If he does that, I'll be sold on the match.
Yeah, be interesting. But the triple threat match was fun. Yeah, we just kind of spoiled it. Ricochet is the winner of the match. But early on in the match, AOP and Buddy Murphy came out in support of Seth, but Kevin Owens and the Viking Raiders came out to even the odds. The match was actually very eventful. The crowd was chanting, "This is awesome," just going into the finisher. Like, just as the match earned like the "This is awesome" chants, Ricochet hit his 630 on Bobby Lashley, which I did not anticipate. I called before the match that I thought Seth was going to hit a stomp and then get taken out by, like, say, Kevin Owens or someone, and then Ricochet to pick up, the scraps. But
I mean, your doppelganger, Erica, the Viking Raiders, and Kevin Owens did come into play and basically did take Seth Rollins out of this match. The one thing that I was surprised is that I thought it was going to have a similar thing, but I thought Rusev would come into play, cost Bobby Lashley his match, and that's how Ricochet got the title match and the win. But there was no Rusev to be found. So that's something I wanted to ask you is, like, do you think the Rusev Lashley stuff is done?
I fucking hope so. I looked back how long this feud's been going on for. It's been going on. Benji was on the show when this feud started. Benji was on the initial episode that this feud started. That's how long ago that shit was.
Hey, quick Benji plug.
I'm telling you.
I Calavera Comedy.
Yeah. Go check him out. Tell him the Smackdraw Pod sent you. I bet they'll freak him out.
The ghost of Smackdraw Past.
Oh,
haunt him
man.
for the rest of his life.
Dude, yeah, this feud's been going on forever, man.
So I feel like it might be a situation where maybe the YouTube numbers finally dropped, and they're like, okay, this feud has lost all steam. We're just gonna nip it right in the butt.
Keep Lana on TV, tease some lesbian angles, and then fucking call it a day.
I think they might have wrapped it up today too. Like,
yeah, with the live, it did feel kind of like a closure. Liv beat her 2 times in a row, but Lana was able to get, like, a finishing move in. Bam, that's it. It'd be such a weird. And then Liv goes on to Ruby Riott, so really wouldn't make sense for anything to keep going on with Lana unless Lana and Ruby form like a team. Which
I hope not.
Just fucking weird.
Can I just say R.I.P. Sarah Logan? She is the forgotten member of the Riot Squad.
She ain't forgotten, man. They shoo her out anytime they need a chick to lose in like 30 seconds.
Dude, she came into that Royal Rumble match and just got destroyed by Charlotte and tossed out, man.
If you ever wanted to know what Vince thinks of brunettes or chicks with dreadlocks, go watch Sarah Logan in the Royal Rumble. And I'm not hating on Sarah Logan. I am a huge Sarah Logan fan and a huge fan of Dana Brooke. I love those two women. But it's
all you'll sit here and trash talk Ricochet.
All the love in the world, man. They got personality, bro. They both have personalities. Okay.
What, Dana Brooke trying to get some Batista? That's what the personality is?
That's way better than what Ricochet's got going on. And she got like the Flex Express going on too, man.
Flex Express, stop it. That's corny and no, stop it.
Dude, that's so
stop
bad.
It.
No, I'm
that's
not
so
even.
bad.
I'm playing.
That's so bad. That's worse than Ricochet superheroes are real thing. At least that thing you can say that he's trying to like.
At live events when she comes out and she's like trying to hype the crowd up, like show us your muscles, like on commercial breaks and shit. I'm sorry. No, I got to stop because I really sound like I'm making fun of Dana Brooke. No, I love Dana. I really do.
See, here's the thing. I love Dana too. I'm just giving you shit because you'll sit here and drag Ricochet, but we'll support Dana Brooke. I'm sorry.
I would be way more on board for a Dana Brooke push, a Sarah Logan push, before a damn Ricochet push. I'm just saying.
And that right there lost all our credibility for this podcast. We're gonna lose all our subs tomorrow. We're gonna drop 50 subs tomorrow. And all just because of that. Come on, man. Come on.
Oh
Come on.
no!
Just say you don't
Sorry.
like the guy move.
I like Prince Puma. I like Prince Puma, man. I've only seen.
You should check out King
I only saw
Ricochet.
the first 2 seasons, though. I only saw the first 2 seasons. I have no idea what happened with Lucha Underground past that.
Check out some King Ricochet when he did some heel work. Like I'm telling you, when he turns heel, like here's the thing: you look at Ricochet, he's so athletic, he's so good. Even you know that you just don't like his character work, and you don't like his mic work. Which, to be fair, right? Yeah, it's not there. It's not good. His material is terrible. The heel, pew 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 pew, terrible. That's what started to kill it. That's what killed it. Was the little like Ricochet sound.
I can't wait for Ricochet to come out with finger guns.
Okay, you know what? That might make it cool. If he comes out, he's like, pew, 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 finger guns. I'm all for it. I'm sold.
Just turns to the camera and winks with a finger gun. Oh no, don't do that. That's terrible.
No.
It's so bad. That's so bad.
But could you imagine he's already very athletic and very good in the ring. Can you imagine an arrogant, cocky Ricochet? Basically, what they have Sammy Guevara be over in AEW, that's what Ricochet could be over on Monday Night Raw. A very cocky, arrogant, athletic, great wrestler that's too full of himself.
You know what I think would be? So I think I could book a cool Ricochet. Have him the leader of a heel stable. That stable comprised of him and the Street Profits. Have all three heel, and then I bet Ricochet's personality could probably mesh well with the Street Profits.
Apparently, they're actually real life friends, so I can see it.
Yeah, I could see that. I bet those guys would have chemistry together.
One thing I've always been supportive of, and just because they're real life friends, and I can see it, pair him up with Apollo Crews, make a heel tag team with them. Two cocky, athletic guys.
Dude, they'd get jobbed out every week. Hell no, keep him away from Apollo. Ain't no way.
Okay, look, man. I'm still trying
it's
to
impossible.
Apollo, man. He's my Dana Brooke, damn it. He's my Dana Brooke.
It's impossible to. But I forgot he existed till just now. Like Jesus.
I love the big guy.
Oh man, yeah, dude. We need to put up some flyers.
Okay, anyway, to wrap up that match, Ricochet won. Like immediately,
got the 630 on Lashley. Yeah,
he hit the 630 on Lashley, and Brock Lesnar. What is this, like 5-6 weeks in a row he's been on Raw?
I know, dude. That's got to be a record.
Dude, I'm surprised
no one's a record, man.
I'm surprised no one has mentioned his consistency with being on Raw. Yes, sometimes he's not doing much, but the fact that he's there,
he's showing up now.
Dude, he's showing
so
up.
Weird.
I've always been
in a snowstorm too. Wow, of all places.
Money talks, man.
That's
Money talks.
Very true.
Here's the thing. True. I've always been adamant and vocal about just save your Brock Lesnar dates. Obviously, you have a select number of Brock Lesnar dates. Save them so that you can do like 3 or 4 shows in a row. Skip one and then do another 3-4 shows in a row, leading into like a Royal Rumble or a WrestleMania. I thought that was the perfect way to do it. I don't know if this is Paul Heyman just pulling some strings and I was like, hey, bro, come and do me a solid, you know?
Yeah.
But either way, they're doing it well. They've saved up those Brock Lesnar dates and right around the time they need to. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, man. No, I completely agree. Use them. If you only have so many dates, condense them. You can take him off the screen for a year. People will miss him. But while he's on screen, you can get a really good feud going. Get some legs out of the material.
Have you noticed that he's been having a little bit more fun recently? Like yes. You can tell, like he's been enjoying like the programs he's been in more.
Yeah. I've definitely been able to tell.
Just keep him away from Braun Strowman. I think we'll be okay.
So yeah, man. But yeah, I think that's our show. It was a good episode of Raw, like we said. Surprising turnout given the weather, surprising angles. I mean, it was really eventful. By the time it was like 10 o'clock, I was like, damn, these first 2 hours flew by. I was like, yeah, it's been a really good episode. I do want to address something. Amidst here at the SmackDraw crew, you know, we do this work for free, and it does come with a price of our personal time, and it does appear for the time being, and maybe for good, we lost our good member, Mr. Rob Roode. Guy is obviously, personally speaking, I'm gonna try to be cool about this. Me and him started this together, and I really wanted to see it to that first year. But Rob lives a very busy life. We've mentioned it. I mean, all you have to do is listen to all the damn daughter plugs he gives. He's a super busy man. He got like 4 kids, got a wife, works full time. The dude shoots the show till 1 in the morning and then gets up at like 3 a.m. to go to work. And the workload did add up. And unfortunately, Rob was putting stress on himself and his family and said he had to take a step back from the show. It was very abundant. All of us here do wish Rob well at the show. And we're going to miss you, buddy. He's an absolute blast. He's easily the personality and the heart of this show, and he's going to be severely missed. I can't really say enough about Rob. He's such a good guy, and we only hope that the big pay-per-views. He's going to miss you guys, and he's going to miss us, and we hope that he comes back. But it's fuck, man. We just wish him well. We wish him well. We wish you well, Rob. Best of luck to your future endeavors. I'm sure you can catch him on Discord.
I know you didn't.
I know, yeah, I know.
That sounds very condescending, but WWE has run that line to the ground.
I know, man. I had to. I'm glad you could break up the seriousness, man.
I think I speak for everyone at the Smack Raw podcast and say that the door is always open for a casual like guest appearance or like a permanent welcome back. Obviously, Rob is one of the forefathers of this show. He is on the Mount Rushmore of the Smack Raw podcast. But like I said, the door is always open. It's sad to see him go. I didn't get a chance to work with him too much, but the one like TLC show that we did, best TLC show, best pay-per-view show we've done. Chemistry was there from the get-go, and hopefully I can get him on to talk some Pokemon down the line. Or I think he's like a gym leader or something in some Pokemon league or something.
Yeah, hit him up at 2 words can't see me. The TWOCANT letter C me. Wait, no, is it TWO? I can't. Yeah, it is. Anyways, hit him up. He's got he's really active in the Pokemon scene, and he's also, I think he streams Destiny 2 as well. So you can always catch him doing that stuff. But yeah, that's it, man. Otherwise, back to business as usual, though. Catch us on Wednesday nights when we cover AEW. So I'll be filling in on Rob's spot. I'll be trying to fill those big shoes of his with Kevin, of course, covering AEW. Vince and RN will be doing NXT. Jay likes to jump in and out of those shows as well. Hopefully we'll get Jay on here soon so we can show off his new PWX Tag Team Championship belt, man. I'm looking forward to seeing that on the show. And then, of course, Sebastian's show on Friday is SmackDown as well. But before we go, let us know in the comments and on Twitter, what did you guys think of the show? Are you guys happy that Brock is showing up week after week? Do you think Charlotte is going to accept Rhea's challenge? And we're going to see, for the first time ever, a Royal Rumble winner go after an NXT championship. Wouldn't that be interesting? Do you think Drew actually has a shot at Brock Lesnar at Royal Rumble? More importantly, do you think Ricochet has a shot at Brock Lesnar at Super Showdown?
No chance in hell. No chance in hell.
Let us know in the comments.
I love you, Ricochet, but no chance in hell.
Let us know in the comments. But until then, you can find, I guess, our most recent video right there above all those Funko Pops above Vince here. Right here in between Vince and I, you can go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And I guess until next time, man, y'all have a good one.
Later, y'all.